Hello and welcome back to East Coast Clash 2025. We are back here on track 1, watching the teams warm up for our Division 2 game between Geelong Roller Derby and Team Regional Victoria. And our Team Regional Victoria is made up of several teams from regional areas around the state. So that includes Mildura, Warrnambool, Bairnsdale, which is a brand new club. They're calling themselves Salty Beaches Roller Derby. And I'm missing one here, and Gippsland Lakes as well. So all over the state, it's great to see Regional Roller Derby doing so well. So as these teams get warmed up, it's going to run everyone through the rosters. And I also have the live stream chat up here. If you are joining me, you can leave a comment and say hi. My name is Kilbo Baggins. I'm from Dragon City Roller Derby. So happy to be chatting you through today's game. So up for TRV, we have 106, The Mad Splatter, 12, Delusional, 171, Honeybee, 1994, Tickle Me, Hell No, 222, Freak Show, 444, Pins and Needles, 77, Lady Justice, 888, Alice, 118, Kick, 142, Mama Mayhem, 19, Cow Crusher, 22, Chaotic Pit, 31, Griff, 555, Jess, 88 Monk, and 999 Miss T. And up for Geelong, we have 111 Stitch, 222 Machine, 238 Beasting, 333 Ra, 44 Cyclo, 51 Melonhead, 57 Rock, 73 Liz Williams, 777 Blizzard, 83 Jackie Ono, 2 Dakota Blocker, 23 Hail Skatin', 247 Turbo Kobo, 4203 Pyro, 444 Warwick Snapper, 555 Mad Splatter, 6 Bad Juju, 76 Mad Pixie, 8 Race Scar, and 99 Morbid Murder. And yes, you were correct. If you have seen 2 Mad Splatters across both our teams today, I'll try not to get them confused. And we already have some love pouring in for Salty Beaches Roller Derby. They are among 2 new teams in Regional Victoria that have launched over the last year or so. Goulburn Valley Peaches, I know they'll enjoy the shout out as well. They're based in Shepparton. And looks like the benches are coming together. We've got less than 2 minutes to Derby, and we'll all get started soon. I do know from personal experience with both of these teams, this could be a good fun match, but also we have some debutantes with East Coast Clash this week. I believe Geelong has Pyro and Jackie Ono levelling up into bowding skating, enjoying their first few games as full contact bowding skaters, and it's always great to see the progression of our sport as new skaters come in and new talent emerges. So excited to see what they bring to the track today. Now, just as we get started here, before the first lineup hits the track, we wanted to pay all our respects to the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people. We acknowledge that this event is taking place on the Wurundjeri Woi Wurrung land, and always was, always will be. And speaking on to that, we're going to do a special shout out to Deadly Sports Plus, an Aboriginal-led and LGBTIQA+, SB-led charity providing high-quality training and first aid services for all. We cannot thank them enough for all their hard work today. It is extremely hot in Victoria. We are in the low to mid-30s. There is very low ventilation in our big shed today, so they are doing an awesome job of making sure everyone is hydrated, everyone stays cool, and you may also see that after the 15-minute mark in each of our halves, we will have a 5-minute break as per our heat policy, and I will talk you through those as they emerge. But that's all for the safety of our skaters and for the love of Derby. So as you can see on your screens here, the clock has run down, so we should have Derby any minute now. I'm keen to see these teams get going. Alrighty, we are taking to the track. Derby's about to start. And we look like we have Mad Pixie up against 444 from TRV. That's Pins and Needles. And you'll be able to recognise Pixie across the track in those fabulous red sparkly shorts. I've always said it, and I maintained roller derby is a fashion show. Just as we get started, everyone's getting organised, including our NSOs and officials. We love them so much. We cannot do Derby without all the volunteer hours from our officials and NSOs. Some of them skate and then race their next game to come and help us out with officialing, and we cannot thank them enough for all they do to keep us skating safe, skating well, and making sure that we look good on the track. Thank you, Amy, for sending love on the live chat for TRV. Keen to see what they do today. Sneaky little tidbit, you will see me on the TRV lineup tomorrow morning, Kilbo Baggins. I'm very excited to play with TRV. They are good friends of ours, and we always love filling in, as I know many of our teams this weekend, due to the havoc by Cyclone Alfred, have had to have a few guests pop in and out, so we're all helping each other out to make sure that all our games can go ahead. So thanks for pouring some love. Just seems to be a bit of a delay with the start here, guys. I'll keep you in the loop when I know more. I think it's just the officials getting organised, but a bit of a delay with some of the other games. May have just thrown out a few schedules of those working between tracks. I'm sure we'll be underway shortly. And just as we're waiting to get started here, if you're on the live stream with me, say hi. Good to have some company. Oh, and never mind, we are with the rolling whistle. We're about to get underway. So yes, we have Mad Pixie up against Pins and Needles. 5 seconds has been called, and here comes Derby. And with a quick fall, but straight back up, and absolutely wonderful 45-degree pushing. Mad Pixie is out for a quick lead. However, Pins and Needles is through on the inside as well and screeching around as fast as you can as Pixie comes through for a scoring pass. Grabs 4 quick points, lifts to a bench, calls it off, and we have our first points on the board for Geelong Roller Derby. Now this is exciting for Geelong, as this is the first time in a little while they have played as Geelong. You may have seen, if you are fans of our statewide Stampede tournament, that they have played as Pivot City Rangers in the past, teaming up with pals from Gippsland Rangers Roller Derby. So it is exciting to see the growth of Roller Derby still growing, and to see Geelong up here on their own as their own formed association. And up on the jam line now, we have Bee Sting for Geelong up against the Mad Sputter for TRV, with a very, very tight scrummy pack coming on the first straightaway. It's a very, very strong defense for both jammers there. Ooh, and a big hit from Cow Crusher sends Bee Sting to the outside, but they still have grabbed lead. Coming around the top circle. And we have a star pass completed for TRV, and we now have 8-8-8 jamming. Bee Sting flies through, gets a little pat on the rump from Melonhead. 4 points, calls it off. Very, very quick strategic jamming there from Geelong. And thank you, Bunny, for choosing in. Watching 2 tracks at the same time. That's quite an effort. Well done. A lot of derby to keep track of there with that one. Just a small delay with the scoreboard here, but we are back on. Looks like we have Honeybee for TRV and 7-3 for Geelong, Liz Williams. And Geelong has just sucked right back onto that jammer. Oh, and a big hit there from Freak Show onto the Geelong jammer. Unfortunately has incurred a penalty for their trouble. And 2 jammers out, almost neck and neck. Looks like Geelong has got lead, but TRV is not far behind. Coming around the apex for scoring points. Geelong's going to hit the pack first. Grabbed some quick points, called it off, and kept TRV to 0. 1-0 in that last jam. So we're currently sitting after 3 jams at 9 points for Geelong and keeping TRV scoreless. Looks like there's a mad rush for Mad Pixie to get up to the jam line as 5 seconds has already been called, and she is using it as a full run-up to get started. Bit of fancy footwork on the inside, bit of a tumble. And has incurred a penalty for her trouble, so straight to the bin for Pixie. So it is now a power jam for TRV, and that is skater 444, pins and needles, I believe. And everyone's in, messing up that pack, trying to open gaps for their jammer there. And Pins and Needles has scooted up the inside, taken the tiniest of gaps, and run through as leads. This is the first lead for Team TRV so far in this half. And they've sent 2 offensive players in, which is a common strategy these days. You often see that it's not always full team offense. You'll send in a couple hold back just to survey the situation and be prepared for the jammer as Pixie exits the box, comes through for her initial. Seems we have also had lead and lost lead as Pins and Needles has gone to the bin as the jammer for TRV. Oh, we're going to have a jammer bounce. So this happens very rarely in Derby. So we cannot have both jammers in the bin. We must have a jammer on track. So what happens is Pixie will sit in the box for as long as Pins and Needles did. So to keep it fair, she'll have a shortened penalty time just to match how long Pins was already in the box for. And Pins has done wonderfully. Come out from the box, scored 4 points, slipped up the inside, and is coming around for a scoring pass while Pixie is trapped in the bin. And TRV are holding at the back of the pack there, trying to force the Geelong pack to spread out and bridge as the jam comes to its end. And 2 more points for TRV. So that was a great jam for them. So brings them to 6 in total, while Geelong is sitting on 10 points after that scoreless jam for them there. So this also means that TRV has a power start for the Mad Splatter as Pixie is still trapped in the bin between jams. And TRV seems to be looking to surround and really crush that Geelong pack, opening up the sides, hopefully for spots to take as Pixie is released from the bin. And with a zip and a lovely, lovely edge work, Pixie is through and has grabbed a lead from the bin as Mad Splatter is recycled to the back of the pack by some excellent Geelong defense. And an apex attempt there from Mad Pixie. Didn't quite land it, and she scoots back onto the inside there to get recycled back. And we have 2 locked in tripods. This is excellent defense from both teams. There's not a lot of movement. They are set and locked and working really hard on their defense.
A bit of a shuffle, bit of a switch side to side, and Pixie is through for a scoring pass. And there has been a star pass as well. Spiders have, I've had enough of that, and has passed along to Freak Show as their pivot. Both jammers coming in super hot, giving some big hits, and both getting through almost at the same time, going point for point here. Pixie looking to her bench, but call is to run it, grab her points, and she is just oh, a big attempt from Freak Show there to grab some points, unfortunately kept at none. Pixie grabbed 2 points in that last pass, bringing our total score to Geelong sitting at 22 and TRV sitting at 10 points. So now we actually have a start with both jammers in the track. Always good to see. Oh, and a couple of tumbles. It looks like both jammers got recycled to the back of the pack there. There has been a penalty called, looks like for a Geelong blocker, as Honeybee from TRV has scored lead. And that's 4203 Pyro, one of our weekend debutants for Geelong, doing their absolute most, pushing and pushing up against their last defense, causing to bridge out, no pack, and is through. Here comes Honey, sneaking through for some points. There is a bit of a pack advantage for TRV here. And looks like, listening to her bench, Honey is going to call it off and bring that pack advantage into the next jam. So TRV will start this next jam with 4 blockers as opposed to Geelong's 2, with 2 still trapped in the box. And some love for Honeybee on the chat there. We do love Honeybee. They're an absolute darling. Can confirm. And we have Cyclo for Geelong jamming for the first time. And I know Cyclo's been working very, very hard this weekend, doing some double duty. I have seen them working with Victorian Men's Roller Derby this weekend. An awesome opportunity for them. Working very, very hard against some strong TRV defense. And looks like Pins and Needles has just done some excellent work up the inside line. Then toe stop, all the way through. And a big hit on Cyclo there to recycle. Pins and Needles coming through for their scoring passes. Cyclo still working on their initial. And as a jammer myself, I must admit, it is not easy work when you're up against 4 defensive players and you only have 2 of your own players to help you out. And unfortunately, looks like Cyclo has copped a penalty for their troubles. Some excellent work here from Pins and Needles. TRV send themselves up, ready for offense. Cyclo has been released from the bin. TRV send themselves up with a nice strong tripod as Pins and Needles works and works and works and slips up that inside line again. Their toe-stop work really has been excellent so far in this half. And Cyclo working very, very hard too, really breaking apart the TRV pack, working to pick them off one by one. And Pins and Needles content to run this jam long. They have lead and happy just to keep picking up points for the TRV and bring up that point differential. And that is the end of the jam. So a fabulous effort from Team TRV, a massive 14-point jam to grab them the lead for the first time this half. So we are now sitting at TRV with 28 points and Geelong Roller Derby on 22. And good job, Pins and Needles, from Amy. You are so correct. That was an awesome jam. Listened to the bench, ran it long, did everything that was asked of them. Awesome jamming. So now we have Freak Show up for TRV up against. That is Beasting, who has just done some excellent work up the outside line, but Freak Show is not far behind. It's going to be a bit of a jammer chase down here. Freak Show's determined. And looks like Beasting has done a little sneaky up the outside to grab all 4 points. Called it off quickly, but to be matched there, 4 points for Team TRV as well. Well done, both teams. So that we have Liz Williams up against Honeybee again at the jam start. Oh, and a big hit off the line. That's from Delusional to the Geelong jammer. Not be deterred though, that Geelong jammer has pushed that pack all the way out, caused the no pack, and is through for lead. That is 7-3 Liz Williams. Awesome, awesome work. And the Geelong pivot is headed off to the bin. So we do have another pack advantage for Team TRV. Doesn't seem to deter Liz Williams. Sneaking up the outside for a quick 4 points. As Honeybee has just passed through for their initial. There's an attempted star pass there. Stashed off that star. It is through. Getting a bit scrummy and broken up there, but looks like Liz Williams has scored through and got 4 points. Oh, and we now have a 1 point game. I do love to see some nice, close roller derby. It is always fun to watch. Now, if you're on the live chat with me, if you've been watching roller derby all weekend, let me know what were some of your favourite moments this weekend. Have you watched some excellent games? Have you watched the Chico Rollers? I hope you have. I'm not biased at all. And we're in front of the jam. We've got Mad Pixie up against the Mad Splatter. And in typical Pixie fashion, comes sneaking up an inside and outside line, darting from inside to out. Oh, I do apologise. That is 888, one of our guests for Team TRV, coming for the star. And Pixie has just broken apart that seam there. Looks to her bench, and note they want to keep running it long. But not far behind, our jammer, Alice from TRV, has come through. Quick 4 points. And Pixie with an excellent jump over the apex there. Was successfully grabbing 2 points. Bit of a fabulous little end there, landing on the butt. That's not always where you want to land. Our padding is on our knees and elbows, but if you make it look good, you make it look good. I do apologise if you do hear some wind noise in the commentary today. I am sitting in front of the window because it is 1,000,000 degrees in here. Gotta try and stay cool as much as we can. And again, shout out to Deadly Sports for keeping us all cool, safe and happy while we're jamming and blocking today. It's hard work when it's hot. And let me tell you, it is worse when you're sitting on the bench after a jam or two. You just sit there and sweat. And speaking of, that will be our 5-minute heat wave stoppage. Oh, I do apologise. It may happen after this jam. We are ready to go. Got Mad Splatter up against Beasting. Beasting out for a quick lead, but Splatter determined. Taking a knee, but straight back up, powering through the defence as Beasting is coming around for their scoring pass. Fortunately, Splatter was recycled all the way to the back of the pack, and with a big hit from the pivot from Geelong. There's all smiles here. We're all friends. And that's what we love to see in roller derby. You do give and receive some big hits, but you always check in to make sure that everyone's happy and safe, and the community here really is the best. We always check in, make sure we haven't hurt anybody. And sometimes it's lots of fun when you take a big hit. And as I can hear from the players here, I'm getting live reviews from Pixie. It's wild out there. Can certainly say so from my view as well. And yes, that will be our 5-minute heat break now, as all our skaters just take a moment to collect themselves, cool down, spritz some water, stand in front of the fans. So at this point, let's have a look at how our penalties are both sitting. We had a few there for Geelong. I want to check how that's going. So this is a Team Region Victoria. No one in trouble at this point. 2 for Freak Show, but no one really in any kind of concern at this point. As for Geelong, we do have Mad Pixie with 3 penalties with 2 track cuts in there. A few more penalties spread across the board, but nothing of concern so far. But we'll keep an eye on that, make sure there's no risk of fouling out here. It's not what we want. And we still have some love pouring in for TRV in the live chat. Keep sending through your comments. Oh, I'm being offered a Super Duper. This is fabulous. Oh, if you'll excuse me for one moment, I'll see you in a couple of moments. See what I was talking about with the community there? Geelong have just passed me a Super Duper for the Heat. What a bunch of legends. I'll be back shortly as we finish off this Heat break. And we are counting back down. We've got 3 minutes to go until Debbie resumes. And again, thanks to Geelong, they're handing out ice blocks, not just to me on the commentary, not just their teammates, but offering it to all our refs and NSOs. What a fabulous bunch of cuties. Just an update for everyone joining us on the live stream at the moment. We have just extended the heat break at the advice of our wonderful, wonderful first aid partners, Deadly Sports Plus. We do take the safety of our skaters very, very seriously. And while we have a fabulous, fabulous venue here at Darebin Community Sports Stadium. It is hot in here, so we may just have a few extra long breaks just to make sure we can all continue to skate safely. We will come back with about 5 minutes to go. Sorry, we've still got about 5 minutes to go before we come back, and then we'll continue the rest of the first half of this game. Alrighty, everybody, that is our rolling whistle. We are back for the second quarter of this match between TRV and Geelong. Currently, the scores are sitting at Geelong on 42, having regained the lead, and TRV sitting at 39 points. And we have Cyclo up against Honeybee as we get back underway. Cyclo trying to sneak up the inside, but stopped as Honeybee sneaks through for lead. Little bit of a knee taken by Cyclo, but straight back up as she hunts down Honeybee to get some points. Honeybee is about to re-enter for her scoring pass, using some excellent offense from her team. And a quick call off with some style. But Geelong did sneak in a point there. Very well done. Looks like there's just confirmation about how many points TRV did get, and looks like all 4 points. So we have a tied game, 43 points apiece. This is fabulous roller derby. We have Freak Show up against Liz Williams. Bit of a tumble off the line, and Liz Williams through for a quick lead. Freak Show not to be determined though, sneaks up, dodges one blocker, grabs another blocker, and is through. Liz now coming in for a scoring pass, straight in the middle of that seam, takes a tumble, straight back up, everyone's all right. They're going to let the jam run. Oh, I spoke too soon, calls it off. Be interesting to see how many, so it's 3 points there for TRV, and 2 for Geelong, so a bit of a point steal here. Alrighty, as we get lined up for the next one, looks like we have Pins and Needles up against Bee Sting. And TRV really is doing a fabulous job. They're really concentrating on sucking all the way back. So setting up close to the jam line, but really counting down their 5 seconds and sucking all the way back down onto that Geelong jam. And they're having a lot of success as TRV has grabbed another lead status. Really finding their rhythm in this game. And a quick call off there. Single point grabbed, kept Geelong to 0. Very strategic, fast-paced derby going on here. And just quietly, a little sneaky shout out to our streaming partner, Maven Mauve. This is a fabulous setup. Just chilling out here all by myself with my microphone. I feel very fancy. And we're on. Geelong has just streamed through to the front of that pack. Can't quite see who that one is. Working on the outside. Geelong has grabbed lead. That is 7-3. Sorry, this is Liz Williams jamming. I do apologise. Some excellent teamwork there. So Honeybee is through, but we do have a pack advantage. There are only 2 skaters from TRV on the track right now as Liz Williams comes through for a scoring pass. An attempted cross-track hit from Allison. Didn't quite get it. Grabbed all 4 points for Geelong. Called it off. And the lead has changed again. Geelong back in the lead with 49 points. TRV sitting on 47. This is neck and neck, which is great to watch. Half tempted to stop yapping and just watch the game, but unfortunately that's not what they put me here for. Looks like TRV did get one blocker release from the bin, so it is a 4-3 pack advantage to Geelong here as Freak Show and Mad Pixie line up. And Mad Pixie has just scooted to the inside, ran through the middle, and grabbed a very, very quick lead. Freak Show pushing behind, about a half track behind as Pixie comes through for their scoring pass. All in for team offense. Taken a big knock to the outside by Cow Crusher, but holds it off with all 4 points, keeping TRV scoreless. Wonderful jamming. And again, I must compliment Pixie's sparkly shorts today. They are fabulous to look at. Really must get myself a pair of those. All right, Beasting and Pins and Needles up again. We have seen this pairing a few times. And TRV sucking all the way back, really working on strong defense, but Beasting has just shook it off and snuck up the outside for an extremely quick lead. Bit of a tumble there, allowing Pins and Needles to sneak through as well. Oh, and Beasting has just broken through that seam, grabbed a couple of quick points. 3 quick points, called it off. This is becoming very, very fast strategic derby. You just kind of get in, grab some points, pull ahead your lead by a couple of points at a time. Does just look like we're having a bit of trouble with the scoreboard at the moment. So there is just an official timeout. Hopefully this won't take too long to rectify. Just so we have this timeout, I'm going to take an opportunity to look at our penalties again. So TRV is still sitting pretty. Freak Show with 2 penalties still. Everyone has really brought it back down and is playing good, safe derby as we like to see. Geelong, very much the same. A few more penalties spread across the team, but nothing of concern at this point. Everyone's playing hard, safe derby the way we like it. Just be a small delay while we fix up the scoreboard here. Won't be long. Now, if you are on the live stream with me, make some noise, leave a comment. Have you got some favorite players on your teams today? Some favorite derby moments? Some other teams you're looking forward to watching? We do have... Did you watch the Chaos Clash yesterday? I certainly did trackside, and it was a lot of fun. And the scoreboard's up and running. We are ready for some more derby. So we have Pins and Needles up for TRV. Can't quite see the Geelong jam. I'm on just the wrong angle for the jam starts here. And a hop and a skip and Pins... Oh, hop and a skip and a penalty for Pins and Needles. Sent to the bin. So it is a power jam for Geelong. And that is 1-2-0-3 jamming for Geelong. That is... I believe that's Pyro, one of their new skaters. And they're working super hard at the front of that pack. Got through, and they are now lead. And a big, big roar and stamp from the Geelong team. They are super chuffed to see one of their new debuting skaters doing so well. And some excellent offense there from Melonhead. But Pyro has been taken to the in by Alice from TRV, who is doing some excellent defense as Pins and Needles rejoins the track. Grabs all 4 points, Pyro, and calls it off. Another 4-0 jam. Geelong seems to be getting their rhythm a bit more. So this lead has extended now. Geelong sitting on 60 points and TRV on 47. All skaters on track. We have an empty bin here, was what we love to see. And Cyclo jamming again now for Geelong up against Honeybee. And Cyclo's made quick work of the inside line. in her fabulous pink skates. Fabulous pink skates. Well, Honeybee still works against some very strong Geelong fans, trying to sneak up the inside and knocked out there. Some fabulous blocking from Bad Juju from Geelong. Cyclo now through for a scoring pass, pushing and pushing, forcing TRV to bridge out, grabs 4 points. Honeybee still working her initial as Cyclo comes through again. Does some wonderful side surfing around the outside line there. And just sneaks and sneaks away while Griff from TRV does some blocking. Unfortunately, that is a no pack. They have to let Cyclo go. 4 more points. Honeybee just knocked to the inside, taking some time to get up, reset, and come in. And grabbing some offense from their pivot from Monk. That Geelong defense is not letting up, just continually reforming at the front there. And there's been a penalty called for one of the TRV skaters. There is a bit of a pack advantage now for Geelong as well. Cyclo having worked through 4 more points. This is so far a 12-point jam for Geelong. They're happy and content to run it long and extend this lead. Just slides on through 4 easy points. But the star pass has been taken by TRV. Monk now holding the star in their hand as the pivot for TRV, fighting against those last 2 blockers from Geelong, trying to get through for an initial. As Cyclo is continually just racking up the points, having an awesome jam. Griff now re-entering from the bin, trying to eat up the score, but that is 2-minute jam, and it's coming from that 21-point jam for Cyclo. That is a mammoth effort from them. So that is exactly what Geelong needed in this spot. They wanted to have a little bit of a safety barrier between the scores there. So we are now sitting with 5 minutes to go in this first half with Geelong Roller Derby, 81 points, Team Regional Victoria, 47. As we are up for our next jam, and for the first time we are seeing Tickle Me Hell No as the jammer for TRV up against Beasting from Geelong. Some great offense there from Geelong. Took a knee to do it, but got their jammer through. So Beasting now has lead as Tickles pushing and work up against some very strong Geelong defence on this first turn here. And some excellent footwork from Geelong. You'll see that consistently across their jammers. They have some very jukey, very sure-footed jammers who will take the lines. Trust me, I know that from first-hand experience. Oh, thank you, Scout. Love your commentating, Kilbo. Pleasure to be here. I talk all day anyway. I might as well do it as part of the live stream. So we do have a power jam. Oh, no, so I do apologise. Tickles is just being recycled at the moment. Star has been stashed in hand looking for their pivot as Beasting comes around for another scoring pass, but being stopped by some very, very great footwork and blocking there from Freak Show for TRV. And a successful star pass. Freak Show not only doing some blocking, but grabbing that star for the TRV jammer as well. Coming around. And coming around for a power jam. I must have missed that. Looks like Beasting has been sent to the bin. So we will have a full 2-minute jam. We only have 30 seconds left for Freak Show to grab as many points as they can for TRV and really start. Freak Show's coming in hot. Ducking under, weaving, bobbing through. Barely even got touched. That's what you want as a jammer. If you can get through without touching anyone, ooh, feels good. Coming through again and with, beautiful bean dip by Freak Show there as Beasting is released. There is a pack advantage as well. So Geelong will start with 1 block on the bin for the next one. But that was an awesome comeback jam there for TRV. So it looks like 12 points awarded to TRV and 8 to Geelong for that last jam. So let's see how we go with this next one. Looks like, big hits off the line for both jammers. I'm a bit blocked by officials, can't quite see. And looks like Liz Williams has pushed out that pack for Lee Gemma, while TRV blocker Alice has been sent to the bin for their troubles. Pins and Needles still working at the back for their initial, slipping and sliding and trying to shake off that Geelong defence. Ooh, bit of a domino effect tumble there, but everyone's getting up and seems to be okay. Pins and Needles uses that to their advantage to sneak through. And we'll now have a power jam as Liz Williams is sent to the bin for a forearm penalty. And I agree, Bunny, in our live stream, it's great to see Freak Show blocking. They usually jam. They did jam in the game I played against them yesterday, and they are a force to be reckoned with. But it is so great to see some of our jammers from other clubs guesting as blockers and really showing off how versatile they are as skaters. So Pin's really working on that inside line. Knocks over some Geelong defence to get through 4 points. Really trying to make the most of this power jam here as Liz Williams is released from the bin. So both jammers now back on track. Some excellent offense from Monk there to help get Pins through for another scoring pass. It looks like we do have all back on track now. Everyone's out of the bin, skating safely as we wind down the last 10 seconds of this full 2-minute jam. Pin's really trying to get these last points. Oh, an excellent footwork there from Liz Williams. Just juking to the outside and opening up some space to get through and grabbing all 4 points. So we've had a few power jams in a row, so this has affected our point score a little bit. Geelong still holding on to their lead, 97 points, and TRV sitting at 70. Both teams really fighting for this. They're having a great game so far. As Geelong takes this time to have a breather, call a team timeout, reassess, and get ready for the next jam. Great to see some love pouring in on this live stream, not just for me as announcer, although I do appreciate that. It goes straight to my head. But also for all of our skaters. I do know that we do tend to focus on our superstar jammers a lot, but all of our blockers today are doing a really fabulous job. It's great to see both teams really reforming well, sticking together with their teams. I'm very interested by TRV's technique at the moment of starting in the middle between the pivot line and the jam start line and really sucking back harder into that Geelong jammer. And Geelong have adapted as such, really welcoming the opportunity to start from the top of the line and really suck back and crush down that TRV, trying to open up space on either lane. As we have our rolling whistle about to get started with Mad Pixie up against Mad Splatter. With a wonderful lineup of blockers. We cannot do derby without our blockers. And just, I was about to say so much power from Mad Splatter there. It was almost too much. Took them over onto one knee. As Pixie does trademark Pixie and ducks under arms to grab a quick lead. As Splats really works on breaking apart the blockers from Geelong, scooting up the outside. Unfortunately meets Melonhead, which is not an easy blocker to get past. Breaks them apart, causes an opaque, and draws a penalty as well. That's great jamming from Splats as Pixie comes through for a scoring pass. Does a very, very stylish spin on the inside apex there to get the 4 points on that scoring pass. Splats, unfortunately, knocked out on their way through for their scoring pass, has to recycle all the way to the back. And Pixie just breaking through the seam of that defense there. Smiles and high fives all around. That's a lovely 8-point jam for Geelong. Holding TRV scoreless as well. Excellent strategy when Pix is jamming. I agree. Pixie has been around for quite some time, is a wonderful human, and has a trademark very low stance on the jam line. If you can see, I don't think you quite can on the angle we have on the live stream here, but they tend to duck really, really low. And as someone who's already short, it makes them hard to spot. They're very sneaky. It's very hard to block them, but it is great to play against both Geelong and TRV, having done both. And that brings us to intermissions. We are having an extra long intermission now with 20 minutes due to the heat policy. So coming into half-time with Geelong Roller Derby at 1:05, Team Ridge Victoria on 70. Still anybody's game. Could come back strong for TRV, or Geelong might extend their lead. Who knows? All right, so we will be right back. I'll come back with a few minutes to go. And for the moment, thank you so much. Hello and welcome back to the second half of this Division 2 game at East Coast Clash between Geelong Roller Derby and Team Region Victoria. As we left the first half, Geelong has secured a 35-point lead, 105 points to Team Region Victoria's 70. Teams are just doing their final chance before taking the track to get the second half underway. As I see several refs and umpires getting spritzed down by our amazing team at Deadly Sports Plus, Aboriginal-led and LGBTIQA, providing high-quality training and first aid services. This cannot be overstated how much care they are putting into making sure our skaters remain cool in this incredibly hot Victorian weather. And let me tell you, with the amount of sweat that is coming off our skaters at the moment, it is humid in here too. So we have our first lineup for the second half of this game. We've got Honeybee jamming for TRV up against the Mad Pixie from Geelong in those sparkly red shorts. I cannot take my eyes off them. And we have our rolling whistle. Looks like both players are starting with one blocker in the box. And we're off. Pixie having an electric start, just pushing through those arms. As my teammate KTK always says, arms are gaps. And Honeybee working to the front of the pack, picking off blockers one by one up against Melonhead. Some excellent work there from Melon, but Honeybee has got through as Pixie is working on their scoring pass. Slips through, looks at the bench. Bench wants them to run it seems. As Honeybee comes through, grabs some points, it seems, before Pixie can call it off. Indeed, 1 point for TRV to Pixie's 4. And we'll shake off those second half nerves. It's always good to get a jam in early to come back from the second half. I know I get terribly nervous coming back from a little break. I can't see who quite up for TRV, but we do have Beasting up jamming for Geelong. It is Freak Show coming in with a massive head start. Very trademark of them. Absolutely flying through, coming in hot, bursting apart the Geelong defense for a quick lead for TRV. Not to be deterred though, Beasting has worked apart the TRV defense. Grum through. And that's some beautiful, beautiful line work from Freak Show there. Just ducked under some of that Geelong defense. Skated right up against the outside lane, got all 4 points, listened to their bench, called it off. That is textbook jamming. I know their bench will be very pleased because their bench is my bench. The lovely Sugar from Dragon City Roller Derby helping out with Team Region Victoria today with their benching. Thank you, Sugar. And thank you to all our guests across clubs today to make sure this weekend goes ahead. And we now have Pins and Needles with Cyclo up on the line. Cyclo running straight into a nicely set tripod from TRV, allowing Pins and Needles to sneak up the inside, grabbing lead. Cyclo, though, not far behind. Both jammers coming around the second apex as teams get set up. TRV grabbing a goat. Now, for those who may not understand what a goat is when a blocking pod grabs a defensive player from the other team and holds them at the back. This is done for several reasons. You can try and remove one blocker from your jammer for they have to get past. You can also almost guarantee a point for your jammer if you hold them all the way at the back. So you're always making sure that your jammer is getting that point. It's a very, very good technique from TRV there. And we have Honeybee scooting through. Looks like one of our Geelong blockers has been sent to the bin. And Honeybee has grabbed lead, but hot on their tail is Pyro from Geelong. Doing an absolute great effort with this chase down, really putting the pressure on as this pack is moving, trying to get away. And some excellent defense from TRV there, just knocking Pyro to the out before they could come through and score any points. Oh, I do apologize. Geelong has snuck in 2 points in that jam, bringing them to 111. And that is TRV sitting at 76. Yeah, absolutely. I'm happy to explain any questions you may have. If you have any questions while watching Roller Derby, we do have a lot of rules in our sport. If there's anything you want clarification on, please just send it through. I'm happy to help talk you through anything. Now, as Freak Show for TRV has grabbed lead, beasting about half a track behind. Both tripods really set, ready for that jammer. And a beautiful slide to the inside, a hop and a jump, and a cut track for Freak Show. That's unfortunate. It really was some beautiful footwork there. Now, TRV does have a penalty called, it seems, for Cow Crusher, as Beasting is coming through for a scoring pass, but is being deterred by some very, very good TRV defense. But some excellent offense there from Bad Juju allows them to slip past and grab all 4 points. And we do have a pack differential. So while Geelong has this power jam, they also have an extra blocker on the track to help out their jammer. Taking full advantage as Juju does some excellent offense, yet again allowing for a sneaky 4 points. Freak Show is released from the bin, moves to the outside, moves to the inside, spins around, skates backward, makes it all look all too easy. So because Freak Show was sent to the bin, this is a full 2-minute jam. Freak Show has attempted to do a little bean dip on the outside line there, but was stopped by some excellent Geelong defense, including a little knockout there from Melonhead from Geelong. Both jammers on track now for this full 2-minute jam, both working against their respective tripods and coming out at approximately the same time. It is neck and neck and point for point here. And again, and unfortunately, Freak Show has been sent to the bin for another cut track. We may just do a penalty review. And that has timed out as well. So Geelong will start with a power start. And let's just have a look here as we come in here. That is Freak Show's 5th penalty with those 2 cut tracks there. If you do hit 7 penalties in roller derby, you are fouled out. You are no longer able to continue in this game. A few more penalties are spread across the board. Nobody else in immediate trouble, though. And I'll come back to Geelong shortly as we're about to get started. So Cyclo taking the power start here. Geelong holding back, just setting themselves up, seeing if Cyclo can handle it on their own before coming in for offense. And there we go, Cyclo called lead. The jammer is standing in the bin, so they probably have about 10 more seconds before Freak Show is released. Oh, big hit for Cyclo there up against Alice from TRV. That's not a blocker you want to run into. They are a solid wall. Freak Show released from the bin, straight back into it, coming in hot, and straight back to the bin for their 6th penalty. I'm not quite sure what that one was there. So 1 point for Geelong in that. I'm curious to see what they put as Freak Show's penalty for their 6th there. Part of my curiosity. Another cut track. Very interesting. And quickly now, Geelong's penalties. A few on 3, Warwick Snapper, Bad Juju, Mad Pixie, but nothing of concern at this stage in the game. Do apologise. I'm trying to get the live stream back up. My buttons don't seem to be cooperating. I do apologise, guys. I'm not trying to keep the penalty board up here for Geelong. I'm just having some technical difficulties with my switchboard. I can let you know that Pixie has taken full advantage of their power start. Done an excellent little hop on the inside. Terribly sorry about these technical difficulties, everyone. I will get this sorted out for you as soon as possible. Just to keep yapping at you so you have some idea of what's going on while I do wait for some assistance with this live stream. That was a 3-point jam for Geelong.
Hello everyone, welcome almost back. Just a quick update. We do apologise for the technical difficulties with the scoreboard. It seems a bit of our equipment has overheated. So we're just getting the last few bits set in place before we can continue the game. We have taken this as the heat break for this half. So there is just a few still more technical bits to sort out, but we'll be back underway as soon as possible. We really appreciate your patience with this one. Unfortunately, the heat is getting to us all, including our technology. I'll be back with you as soon as I'm able. Thank you. That is the rolling whistle we are back on. So I have nothing on my screen. I only have the vision in front of me. So, but it is good to at least have some yapping for our roller derby. We are back on. It looks like we have pins and needles jamming for TRV. And I believe that is Pyro for Geelong, who has snuck through, done well. I apologise. That's Liz Williams, number 73. Grabbing lead for Geelong. Pins are working through that defence. Unfortunately, the very rare jamming multiplayer block sent to the bin, so it is now a power jam for Liz Williams and Geelong. Again, thank you everyone for your patience for that delay. So Geelong sweeping in, trying to offer some help to Liz Williams, who has moved to the outside, swapped to the inside, got through for 4 points. And there is a significant pack advantage. Oh, I do apologise. It is 4-3 pack advantage to Geelong. I am just ducking and weaving over a few officials' head to see the full length of the track here. So pins and needles released from the bin as Liz Williams comes in and grabs 4 more points. So far an 8-point jam for Geelong. And that Geelong defence, they're pushing pins and needles all the way to the inside. I believe that's Avalanche, the 555 for Geelong doing so. Sorry, Mad Splatter. Mad Splatter. Fabulous blocker. Bit of a dance, pushed to the inside and recycled back again for pins and needles from TRV. As Liz is pushing against a very set solid tripod, waiting for some offense to come in, and here it comes. And there has been a successful star pass. Alice from TRV grabbing the star for her team. Liz Williams not far behind, so the jam is now coming around the track neck and neck. Liz Williams there getting the call from the bench to call it off before TRV can come through for points. And a very, very nice 12-point jam. So we do have Geelong Roller Derby now sitting on 155. They have pulled ahead this second half, come back from their break very strong. Team Rita Victoria sitting at 86, still playing very, very well. And as for your previous question, Bunny, how many players does a team need to have and how many guest skaters are there allowed? Is there a limit? That does change tournament to tournament. I'm not fully aware of the rules surrounding East Coast Clash. I know due to the changes at the last minute due to Cyclone Alfred, there have been a bit of leniency with guests. I only agreed to sign a guest with TRV for tomorrow morning's game yesterday, so they are making sure that Derby can go ahead and allowing probably a few more guest skaters than normal. The Victorian regular tournament statewide stampede does allow for a maximum roster of 15 skaters per team. There are specific rules around guesting, including the use of A-grade players. We talk about A-grade players as players who have played for Victorian All-Stars or, you know, higher level teams that are considered, you know, elite members of our sport. And we don't, particularly for tournaments and Division 2 teams and regional teams, this is an opportunity for us to develop our skills, practice gameplay, and really bring roller derby to regional areas of our state. So there isn't really a limit on guests per se. It's more about where you're getting your guests from. I know TRV gets guests from across many other clubs, but we also have a rule in statewide stampede where the guests cannot have played more than 25 bouting games. This also allows the development of our newer bouting skaters to get more gameplay experience, meet new people, you know, figure out the rules a bit more, and really find their rhythm as skaters, because it can take quite a few games to really feel settled and sure in your roller derby technique. So unfortunately, I haven't got the specific answer for your question in terms of East Coast Clash rules on guesting, but generally you want to have a maximum roster of about 15 skaters. You can only play 15 skaters at a time. Your roster can be as large as you like. Your playing team will be up to 15, and you can have a certain amount of guests in that team from anywhere around to make up your numbers in case of emergency. But there are specific rules for specific tournaments about who can play for whom in terms of the level of the appropriate skater. So it looks like the scoreboard's still giving them some grief on the other side, just making sure that all the points are counted correctly, all our teams are being rewarded for their efforts, and it's also a little dance break opportunity for for two of our jammers on the line there, breaking out some moves. I believe that's Pyro and Honeybee having a little dance off of the jam line there. We love to see it. Would join in if I was out there. Do love a good dance party. And that is the rolling whistle. We are back for more derby. 19 minutes still left in this second half. And we're off. And Pyro, they're doing a very excellent job with their offense, really coming through and taking gaps when they're presented to them and for a quick lead. Honeybee also working on the same technique, trying to pick off skaters one by one, get them on their own. It's much easier to get past skaters one at a time rather than it is in a full set tripod. Pyro coming through at the back for a scoring pass, but stopped by a very solid wall for TRV. And again, some excellent offense there from Geelong. That was skater 444, Warwick Snapper, really pushing each player to the side, opening up gaps for Pyro to take. Honeybee has completed her initial, and Pyro has called the jam before Honey can make a full scoring pass. So that will be a 4-0 jam for Geelong. And go Pyro indeed. It is hot, heavy work out here. All our jammers are doing such an excellent job to keep going. Blockers are working incredibly hard too, but let me tell you, it's some hard cardio out there as a jammer today. So now Mad Pixie and Pins and Needles up on the jam line. And Pixie caught by TRV at the front, working side to side, has caused a multi-payer block for Freak Show Francis, and I believe that may be their 7th penalty and a foul out. I will confirm that after the jam. And also a power jam for Pixie as Pins and Needles has been sent to the bin also. And this is one thing you don't want to give Mad Pixie is a power jam. She loves it. So 3 blockers on for TRV, trying to get around Pixie, who just does some beautiful line work. Just slips on one skate all the way on the outside line. Must be nice actually skating that fast. Get some wind on your face. It's quite warm. And comes through hot and attacked that seam from TRV. Broken through. Did take a tumble, but is straight back up again. Pins Needles released from the box. I believe Pins is still working on their initial pass, so Pixie is going to run it a little bit longer. But Needles is through. Let's see what Pixie will do with this last scoring pass. Straight in the middle, attacks the seam as Geelong does some excellent positional offense there. Looking to the bench and calls it. So you might have noticed there that Pixie did wait a little bit after coming through and scoring their points to call it off. This is controlling the clock. Now that Geelong feels a bit more settled with their lead, they want to make sure that that clock runs down, stay ahead, and give less of an opportunity and less time to TRV for them to grab leads and score more points. It's a classic technique made famous by some Div 1 teams, including the Victorian Roller Derby League All-Stars. All players on track. We now have Honeybee jamming up against Beasting, who has been successfully caught by a TRV tripod, and Honeybee has through for lead. Excellently done. And again, some well-timed offense from Geelong allows Beasting just to slip out of that trap there. And unfortunately, a few penalties means we now have 3 Geelong skaters against 2 TRV skaters on this track. And a double jammer tumble. Buzz Honey calls it off and crawls back to her bench.
I believe that's a 2-point jam there for TRV. Adding points to the board is always good. So we are now sitting at Team Region Victoria on 88 points and Geelong on 175 points. So Geelong have really pulled away in this second half. They're feeling really settled. Their O is short and sharp and what we like to see. So the 2-3 pack advantage here to Geelong with Cyclo up against Pins and Needles. And Cyclo wasting no time making advantage of those extra numbers in their pack, coming through for lead. And Pins really digging the shoulders into Mad Splatter from Geelong there, pushing and opening up an inside lane for them to get past on their initial as well. And a frantic call from the Geelong bench to Cyclo to call it off there. And another 4-0 jam. This is just very, very solid derby from Geelong here. Just incremental points. Just going 4 or 8 points at a time, calling it off safely, keeping TRV down to as little points as possible. Classic strategy. Just a little confirmation here for the refs of those last points. And we are back on. And Monk is jamming for TRV. I believe it's the first time I've seen Monk jam today. Up against Mad Pixie, who just slips up the outside, absorbs a hit, and rolls on through, while Monk really works on a solid tripod from Geelong there. TRV trying to reform at the front as Pixie just sneaks and slips through. But the bridging out there from TRV and the one-on-one blocking has allowed Monk to try and escape the pack. And successful. There was a hit out there, but I believe the skater was out of play when they hit Monk out of the track, allowing Monk to hop straight back on, continue on, and chase Pixie down for an initial pass, for a scoring pass. And beautiful offense there from Geelong. I believe that was Melon and Rock, who both just positioned themselves so beautifully for Pixie just to do Pixie things, squat down, run side to side, slip through and score an 8-point jam. I believe we have a team time out here. I think it's TRV just taking some time to settle, breathe, have a wriggle, get ready, and send out their 4 blockers to help out. Honeybee on the line up against Bad Juju. Oh, I do apologize. Up against Bee Sting. I do like it, Genevieve. B versus B. Bee Sting versus Honeybee. We love to see it. Oh, now Bee Sting was run back there, tried to re-enter and just immediately knocked back out from Alice there from TRV. That was very, very beautifully done. And Bee Sting has utilized their offense to sneak back to the front of the pack. Slips through up the inside. Beautiful toe stop spin to grab lead. That's some lovely footwork there. Honeybee has taken off the star, stashed it, looking for their pivot to get in front. That's Mad Splatter they're looking for. Is pushed to the outside and forced to recycle by Mad Splatter from Geelong. We have a Mad Splatter and a Mad Splatter and a B and a B. I'm losing track here. And in all the confusion, looks like Bee Sting has been sent to the bin. And now as they were lead jammer, that means we have not only a power jam for TRV, but a full 2-minute jam. Honeybee coming in with a bit of speed. TRV setting themselves up, sweeping across. Honeybee did take a tumble, is forced to recycle, but TRV are doing a very smart play and holding at the back here, forcing the bridge out from Geelong, allowing Honey to just to pick off one blocker at a time. That's very, very smart passive offense from TRV there as Beasting rejoins the track, slams into the tripod, and is knocked to the inside again by Alice. It's a bit of a 1v1 battle with these two here today. So we have a lovely split pack. And that was almost immediately broken as I said that, as Beasting got through, coming through for a scoring pass. Only a couple of seconds left in this 2-minute jam. Let's see if Honey can get all 4 points. Oh! And a double slam. Everyone's up and okay, but both Honeybee and Beasting were knocked to the outside at the very same time. So ended our jam there with 2 great big thumps. But again, everyone is up and okay and smiling. It is hard work. And when you get to the end of the game, such as this, in a hot day with a tough opponent, it really does take it out of you. So well done to all our skaters today. They are really pushing for every single point today. Five seconds and we're back. Pins and needles up against Cyclo here. Looks like TRV with the pack advantage this time. Pins trying to take that inside line again, unable to do so. Cyclo side surfing around the bottom apex, successfully comes through for lead. As Pins also makes their initial about half a track behind Cyclo here. Geelong setting up for some really good offense. That was Mellon and 4-4-4 Warwick Snapper squeezing both sides of the TRV tripod, trying to open up both the inside and the outside lane as an option for their jammer. Now, from personal experience, as someone who played Pivot City, which contains Geelong skaters 3 times last year, their offense is no joke. They are a very, very well-rounded unit of a team, but I am very, very impressed with the quality of skating from Team Ranger Victoria today. They are working very, very hard and staying together, which is awesome to see. Looks like we have Alice now jamming for TRV up against Pyro. And Pyro pushing and shoving, working on these beautiful 45-degree pushes to open up gaps, grabbing lead as Alice works with some muscles their way through at the back. Knocks over Mad Splatter, gives them a splat and comes through. And Pyro taking some very well-timed shoves from Mad Splatter there to come through for an easy 4 points. Look to the bench. They're going to keep running it. Alice, again, just working on one blocker at a time. So we do have 2 Geelong skaters in the bin. So this may be why Geelong is wanting to run it long. They want to free those skaters from the bin so they can start the next jam with all 4 bodies on the track. And Matt Splatter doing a wonderful job of one-on-one blocking, passing along the work to Bad Juju. Unfortunately, Alice is sent to the bin with a forearm penalty right at the end of that jam. So this means for this next one, Geelong will have a full 30-second power start. And it seems they're setting up Liz Williams for the power jam. Short official timeout here, just so we confirm some points. So we do have 3 TRV skaters on the track. So there's a 4-3 pack advantage and a power start for Geelong. Exactly what you want to see as a jammer, but not what you want to see from TRV. And some wonderful catch on the chest there from Monk from TRV to really slow down the momentum there for Liz Williams. But again, that Geelong offense is so effective, just really picking off players one at a time, sweeping them to the outside, opening up the inside lane for Liz Williams to take there. But reinforcements are on the way. Delusional release from the box for TRV as Liz comes through for a scoring pass. Makes it look all too easy thanks to wonderful, wonderful offense from Rock and Melonhead. And Alice, released from the box now, has stashed the star, but working on getting through their initial pass. Ooh, a big knock there to the inside. But TRV has recaptured Liz Williams. Not sure what happened, but Melonhead's just gone flying. And unfortunately, Alice has been sent back to the bin with a forearms penalty. I have lost track of the penalties at this point in time. Due to our technical difficulties earlier, I'll no longer be able to look at our penalties, but I'll keep an eye out and an ear out. So Liz Williams, power start, and now back into another power jam. Geelong setting themselves up to do the sweep move again, opening up lanes for Liz Williams to take. And then very successfully just holding back, allowing the skaters from TRV to have to bridge out. You have to drop a player every 10 feet. And that means you are meticulously picking off blocker by blocker. And as a jammer, it's exactly what I see. You want to be at the front, pushing forward, able to bridge them out. And it just means less and less blockers for you to get through and less people to have to work around. And the quicker you are to get free. Yay! There was a strategic call off there from Geelong as well to what we call ice the jammer. So they called it off, keeping Alice in the bin as the jammer for a third jam, icing her in there, keeping them contained and making sure that they are having another power start to give them the best opportunity to grab lead as possible. So we are just continuously taking little breaks at a time. And this is, again, just reiterating, this is all for the health and safety of our skaters, making sure everyone stays cool and hydrated, including our officials. They're skating too. It's warm, it's humid, it's sweaty. So again, a big, big thank you to Deadly Sports Plus for all the care they're taking of everybody on the track and around the venue today. Alrighty, so that was the rolling whistle. We are back on for said power start. And Geelong putting up Cyclo to make the most of this opportunity for Geelong. And a full run up here. TRV trying to stay at the front, trying to avoid and run away from that offense from Geelong as much as possible. And as we've seen before, as we talked about, Geelong trying to grab a goat at the back, forcing the bridge out, allowing Cyclo to grab lead after an almost full lap of blocking. Alice now released from the bin, working on their initial pass as Cyclo comes through to try and score some points. And very nicely done, using the safety of the TRV players and just bouncing up the inside, grabbing, not grabbing lead, coming through for their initial pass. And Cyclo calls off the jam before Alice can come through and score any points, but there are a fair few skaters in the bin at this point. So there may be a very interesting pack advantage here. I was correct. It looks like we have 3 skaters blocking for TRV and 1 absolute hero for Geelong. That is 444 Warwick Snapper, doing the absolute most as the only Geelong blocker on track with Pixie jamming. And Warwick doing a fabulous job trying to stop pins and needles there. And amazingly, Pixie has grabbed lead with a 3-1 pack advantage. Warwick Snapper even pushing that jammer to the inside, recycling them back. This is an absolute masterclass on one-on-one blocking. Thankfully, Snappers now has some reinforcements in Bad Juju and Mad Splatter. Both jammers now coming in for a scoring pass. Pixie working up the front up against a nice TRV tripod. Forces the no pack call, slips through, calls it off. Smooth. But not without bleeding a few points. So that was an 8-point jam for Geelong Roller Derby and 3 points at TRV. We are now sitting at just over 100-point difference. So Geelong on 225 and TRV on 106. With about just under 4 minutes left to go. So a few last opportunities for some leads for TRV if they can make the most of it. 5 seconds is called. Not all of Geelong is ready. And we will have a couple of players that have to return to bench as they were not on the track in time. So it looks like we have 3 TRV blockers and 2 Geelong blockers. Melon Head doing a really wonderful job at the front trying to slow down Honeybee, but they do grab through for lead. And again, just that beautiful offense allowing Liz Williams from Geelong to come through on their initial pass. Honeybee looking to score some points, tries to sneak around the outside, stopped by a very formidable 2-wall from Geelong. Liz Williams pummeling through the TRV defence there, trying to get as many points as they can. Everyone's just taken a little bit of a slow down now. The game really has come to an almost stop as everyone just gets settled in. Honeybee trying to sneak up the outside. Avoids a block from Melonhead, but they both take a tumble. Looks like everyone's getting up and is okay. In all the confusion there, it looks like Liz Williams has snuck through for 4 points. Honey looking to her bench for instructions. They say keep going. And again, Liz Williams sneaking through, utilising very, very well-timed positional offence from Geelong. And that was lovely, lovely offence there from Monk. Just holding Melon to one side, allowing Honey just to sneak around the apex for an easy 4 points. I wouldn't say easy. They're working very, very hard out there. And another 4 points for Liz Williams before the jam is timed out. Monster effort. So a 12-point jam there for Geelong and a 9-point jam for TRV. So points for all. But Geelong just slowly increasing that points differential. Feeling very comfortable with where we're at compared to halftime. And looks like we have Pyro up against Pins and Needles in what could be our final jam of the day. Pyro working up against the GRV tripod up the very front on the apex. And Pins trying to break apart Geelong's defence. And does so successfully. Slips up the inside and grabs lead for TRV. Pyro still working, almost running into a few of the players of our own team there. That has successfully completed their initial part as Pins and Needles comes through for a scoring pass. And beautiful work there from Pins and Needles. Just broke through that seam, slipped up the inside, score 4 points, look to the bench, call it off. So we might get one more jam in here. We'll just wait and see. Be down to the wire. And looks like we have timed out here. So that is our unofficial score. So we'll just wait for that final rolling whistle to confirm the last few bits. But we have Team Regional Victoria on 119 and Geelong Roller Derby taking the win today with 237 points with an absolutely stellar second half. Now I want to reiterate that this is a wonderful effort from both teams. It is a hot day. It's a hard day. A few teams on down numbers and having guests skate with them. And the scoreboard is not always a reflection of the effort our teams put in. So well done to all involved. And even now, our officials are saying thank you for your patience. And I will pass that along to everyone on our live stream as well. Thank you so much for your patience and understanding as we take extra breaks, both due to technical difficulties and due to the heat stress. As our teams now do their chant, I'd like to thank you all for joining in today. My name is Kilbo Baggins. It's been a pleasure having you all here today. Another big shout out to Deadly Sports Plus for looking after us all, and Darebin Community Sports Centre for hosting East Coast Clash today. Now, I believe we have one more game on this track today, and that will be, looks like South Sea Roller Derby and somebody else. I'd have to find, and looks like Ward. So that'll be a great game. Having played Ward earlier today, that'll be a good one to watch. So stay tuned on this channel for the next game. And again, thank you so much for having me. Have a wonderful rest of your afternoon.